It's time now for The Opinions Matter, a look deep inside the local issues, events, and policies affecting the Mercer County residents. Here's your host, Joe Fabrizi.
Welcome once again to another hour of Opinions Matter. Today we're very fortunate to have live in the studio the mayor of West Windsor, Hemant Marathe, and he's going to be with us for an hour. He will take a call. I just want to caution everyone to remain civil if they have a comment or a question. The mayor will entertain your call. The number to call is 215-949-3232. But we will be talking, and we're going to use some time to do that right now. I want to introduce the mayor. I want to thank you for spending time coming here today, Mayor. And I want to ask, for you to introduce yourself in terms of your credentials, your background, your academic credentials.
Yeah. Hi, Joe. First, thanks for having me. It's been a while since I came last time. I missed last couple of opportunities. So again, thanks for having me, and thanks for having the local news, which is very important nowadays. So I am Hemant Marathe. I am the mayor of West Windsor for last 8 years, 2 terms, running for my 3rd term. I am engineer by profession. I obtained my PhD in electrical engineering from University of Washington, and master's before that from Virginia Tech, and bachelor's from India IIT Bombay. We've been a resident of West Windsor for 31 years, half of my life, with my wife, and we are very proud of the 4 daughters who graduated through West Windsor Plainsboro School District.
Okay, well, that's an interesting background. So I want to say, too, that, when an engineer, and I know I've dealt with engineers because, being a carpenter, and sometimes I was in a supervisory capacity, and now I do plan review, so I deal with engineers and architects on a daily basis now. And engineers are very pragmatic in their approach to, they see a problem, they get things done, sort of like anyone who works with their hands, because we want to save our backs. Right. So we're going to follow the quickest, the easiest, the most effective route to get the job done. Right. And it's unusual and we need more engineers in elected office, but it's unusual for, I think, an elected engineer to be, to be serving the people. Generally, they're attorneys, usually.
That's correct.
So, you're a rarity anyway. But I want to say to you, so you got, you're there, 2 terms now?
Yes, 2 terms now.
What do you owe your success to?
I think I owe my success to being a plain talker. I say what's on my mind. I mean, one of the toughest job of being a mayor is to pick and choose what you want to get done. I mean, there are too many demands from too many people, especially like community like West Windsor. Mm-hmm. And we have too many things that we can possibly do. I mean, life is never perfect. Nothing is perfect. So the choices are sometimes hard, what you want to get done and what you can wait without. And I think my ability to explain to people why we are doing what we are doing, and I don't take any criticism personally. So I think that's my ability to get things accomplished is my main root of my success, cause of my success.
Yeah, that kind of stands to reason, the way you put it out there. And I can imagine, because I know, historically I've seen, people look like they were really out to get you a few times, and you just stated the facts, and you said, this is where we are, and let the chips fall where they may. And they always fell in your favor. I guess it works. I don't know. I guess the truth is a powerful weapon. That I do know.
Absolutely. And I'm very proud of West Windsor residents and voters. They are very practical, and they can tell who is telling, who is better for them, and who is doing a real job, and who is giving them a story.
So the other thing I want to ask you, what's your style of leadership now? Besides, being direct and what have you, but in terms of, like you got departments, let's say one's malfunctioning or something, or you're getting complaints from employees about something somewhere. There's different styles of leadership. What's your style?
I mean, I'm not a micromanager. I mean, there are too many things to do, and as you know, mayor is a part-time job. I mean, my wife will say it's my hobby and I should focus on my paying job. But so I depend a lot on township employees and other people to get things done. And my style is to ask a lot of questions. I am not an expert in any field, but over a period of time, once you work with people, you develop confidence in their ability, you understand where they are coming from, and I always tell people that tell me the truth. I mean, my job is to make the hard decisions, not your job. I'll make the hard decision. Just tell me the truth in your opinion, what needs to be done. And I tell department heads and managers and business administrator, it's their job to convince me, and it's my job to convince the council and the residents in town. So once I'm convinced, then I will ask a lot of questions, but I value their professional expertise and I value their experience. And over the years now, they have gotten comfortable with me and I've gotten comfortable with them. So we have an honest discussion. And I tell them, okay, this is what I think we can get accomplished, and this is what I think is a very heavy lift. At some point, even if it's the right thing to do, if there are too many people, make too many people unhappy, then you have to make certain compromises. So I always ask them to convince me about things that need to get accomplished, and then my job is to convince the council and the residents that why we are doing and what we are doing it.
So let's talk a little bit about the size of West Windsor in square miles. How large of a town is it?
Right. I mean, it's about 26 square miles, and roughly now our population has grown to 34,000. Since the last census, we have added 2,000-3,000 people.
So it's a pretty good sized town, not real huge. What about the economic makeup? Where are we at on the economic scale? Upper middle class?
It is upper middle class. I mean, the average income is very high. I mean, the state divides all townships into different socioeconomic level, I believe from A to F, different levels,
yes.
And we are in the highest level.
Okay.
But even given that, I mean, I was surprised how many percentage. I think when we were doing our economic analysis for affordable housing, if I remember the number correctly, almost 28% of people own less than $150,000 in West Windsor. I'm sorry, 40% of people own less than $150,000. 28% of people own less than $100,000. Now that may seem like a large amount if you are in Mississippi, but in West Windsor and New Jersey, that's not a lot of money.
Right. So in those instances, what kind of social services does West Windsor offer for those people? I mean, what kind of aid or anything? Is there anything there for them? It's unfortunate because in many instances, if you're the working poor, and there's a little joke about that back in the day when we were in a union, we always used to kid about that. You have a job, J-O-B. And what does J-O-B stand for? Just over broke, right? So, those people are just over broke. So where do they go? Is there any help? Is there any way? I mean, I don't know that there's any programs that they can qualify even for, is there?
No, West Windsor as a township don't have any program.
Right.
I mean, and what you say is absolutely true. I mean, if you are just job or just above broke, it's very difficult to live in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So we do offer, we do have our own senior center. We do have our own health department. So those kinds of services we offer. But if somebody is in financial trouble, it's really very difficult for the township to help them from township. Individually, people do help them. Like when there was a fire a few years ago, the township residents came together and raised money for people who were affected by the fire. But as a township, we don't have any means of helping individuals.
So they're pretty much on their own. And the real estate taxes in West Windsor are pretty high.
They are pretty high, yes. Yeah.
And so we're getting some kind of if they're under a threshold, they do get their taxes are frozen. Those people, according, from the state. But there's a lot going on with that because you still have to pay the tax.
Oh, you still have to pay the absolutely.
And then you get them back.
Yes.
Does that make sense, Mayor?
Yeah. No, I mean, see, that's
as an engineer, does that make sense?
No. I would rather just have state reduce the tax rather than playing games with it at election time, giving money like. There's 3 programs this year, but they are not funded long term, so you don't know if there's going to have the same program next year or the year after, and that is very distressing. I mean, it shouldn't be used as a political tool during election years.
Yeah, and that's basically what's going on with a lot of this stuff. So, it's tough for people in New Jersey. As you said, somebody has $100,000 coming in. It seems like a lot of money. Like you said, Mississippi might work well, maybe West Virginia, someplace like, and I'm not saying those states are bad, but I mean, it costs less to live
Cost
there.
of living is much lower, yes.
So, but yet, here we are in New Jersey, in West Windsor, you're at the top there. I think you probably, I'm not sure, did you pass Princeton?
I think after Princeton and Princeton Borough merged, I think then we just passed Princeton at least for a little while. When Princeton was separate, they were higher than us.
Right.
But once they merged, their average went down.
Yeah, that's getting there.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people that live there are research people too, correct?
Yes. They are mostly professionals. A lot of them work in New York City in finance industry or in research. So, good population.
Doctors?
A lot of doctors, yes.
So, very good. So, all right, to move along a little bit, I have to ask you this question. I ask everyone that's seeking political office, and I think it's incumbent upon anybody out there that's going to cast a vote. To anybody seeking political office, you should ask them what is their position on sanctuary state and sanctuary cities. Are they for or are they against? And I'm going to ask you, are you for or against?
Yeah, see, I get to asked to comment on a lot of things federal level, and since I'm from India, I get asked to comment about Modi, the Indian Prime Minister, who is as he generates as strong opinions as Trump here. My general philosophy is not to specifically comment on any particular issues over which I don't have any direct control. I don't have any direct control over sanctuary cities. What I do tell people is what, as a West Windsor mayor, we can and we can't do. I mean, one of the things we can't do is to ask people their immigration status. Even if a police stop you, they are not allowed to ask your immigration status. So I do have personal opinion on every topic under the sun, but I generally don't get into arguments over things that I don't control over. But as a mayor, I think my main responsibility is to first take care of people who live in West Windsor than worry about other people who may want to come in and do other things. Yeah,
well, I think that's a topic in the gubernatorial election.
Right.
So, basically all the mayors, whether you disagree or agree, you're pretty much bound to follow whatever the state mandate is at this point in time.
Correct.
Right? And that's coming from the governor's office, and I guess the county sheriff is told that, you can't do this or can do this,
right.
And all that. So, but it looks like that might change. And but you have to say, I think you would comment on this. Having a sanctuary state, does that add to the problems compounded by property tax?
It will, and I mean the thing I will point out is that I think last year or year before, when Texas was sending all those people up here, the mayor of Edison stood up and opposed that. Even though he's with the governor, he did stand up and oppose that because he knew that his city didn't have a capacity to handle that, and would be similar thing. And I owe my first responsibility is to help the residents of West Windsor who are there. So that I would rather focus on that and let the federal government take care of the other issues.
Well, we're going to take a break. Time is flying here. We're going to take a quick break, and I want everyone to stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Under the Hood with Fred Fletcher is heard every Thursday at 9 a.m. on WBCB 1490 AM and 107.3 FM. Everything you need to know about your car and keeping it maintained with Fred Fletcher from Fletcher's Garage, Hood and South Olds Boulevards, Fairless Hills, your official AAA facility.
To me, working at St. Jude, what makes it so special is that there's more research going on here. At St. Jude, we don't care who cures cancer, we just need to advance the cure. The heart of St. Jude is to take care of children with catastrophic diseases and to advance their cure rates, but we need to be able to do that for everyone. It's a bold initiative to try and bump cure rates all around the world, but it is our commitment.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Join us Thursdays from 1 to 2 for Upwards, where we endeavor to uplift and inspire with health tips from fitness expert Maureen Solomon, consumer protection info from consumer advocate Mike Bannon. Hear about arts and culture events, fundraisers, and people helping people to make this area a nice place to live, work, and play. Upwards, Thursdays at 1 on WBCB.
We now return to Opinions Matter, a look deep inside the local issues affecting Mercer County. Once again, here's your host, Joe Fabrizi.
Welcome back. If you just joined in, we have the mayor of West Windsor here today, Hemant, Marathe, and he's served for the last 8 years, and he's seeking another term this November, along with his running mates. And who are they? We didn't even mention them.
Yeah, okay. My running mates are Linda Jeevers, who has been on council, I think, for 20 years, longer than me. And we have a new person running, Joe Charles, whom I just met last year. A wonderful guy, very hardworking guy. He's a CPA by profession and a very dedicated person, very analytical, and will definitely do what's best for West Windsor.
So, Mayor, I know that you know about the breakdown of the, where the tax money comes from. So, most of the money that funds everything comes from the property tax on the local level, and the county gets funded through that. And you're the guy that has to deliver the county bill. The municipalities deliver that. That's in with the tax bill, and also the school budget is in with the tax bill, and then the municipal. Now, I don't know how much aid you get from the state or from the feds. I imagine there's some state aid, there's some federal aid, I would think, depending on what's taking place in West Windsor. Could you give us a breakdown of that and give us the percentages if you have that off the top of your head?
Sure. I mean, one of the things that probably each mayor is in New Jersey is frustrated about is we are responsible for collecting all your taxes. But I, specifically in West Windsor, keep only 15% of them. So I keep only 15 cents of the $100 you collect. Roughly about 59% go to the school district, and roughly about 23 or 25% go to the county. So majority of the money that I collect, I don't get to keep. I just pass through. I don't have any say in how much the school taxes are, how much the county taxes are. But if you look in West Windsor over the last 8 years that I've been mayor, the municipal taxes have been almost flat. For an average house, the total tax increase is $50 cumulative over 8 years, so roughly $8 a year increase, which is nothing. But your school taxes and county taxes continue to increase, and people don't realize that, and unfortunately majority of people don't realize that, and they blame the mayor and the township council for increase in taxes. That is a very frustrating part of it, and we try as much as we can to try to educate them. And you are absolutely right. For a wealthy city like West Windsor, majority of taxes are paid by local taxpayers. We get very little state aid, and we get very little federal aid, and that is mainly through the funding formula and then the application of specific grants that we apply for. The state increased the aid a couple of years ago by a few percentage points, but for 8 years or 9 years it was pretty flat. Same dollar amount, which essentially means I was losing 2% or 3% to the inflation. So I was losing 2 or 3% aid every year because the dollar amount was flat. So at least the state should increase the aid at least to keep up with inflation, so at least the aid is flat. It's not even flat what they have been giving to the township.
Well, once again, Jack Cettarelli, who's the Republican gubernatorial candidate, he's pitching for a new funding formula, which would be a little bit more in line with being fair to the towns, I believe. But how are you doing, before we get into the form of government and that, how are you guys doing with the affordable housing? Was that had to meet so many units or whatever, and this and that and the other? And, how did that work out?
Yeah,
that's a boondoggle for a lot of
that's
towns.
A boondoggle for all. And I always say every mayor, whether a Republican, Democrat, tall, short, fat, thin, nobody likes that because it's been driven by the builders lobby. And for a town like West Windsor, where a builder can sell a townhomes easily close to $1 million, they want to build as much as they can in West Windsor.
Right.
So we always are marked in every round. The Fair Share Housing Center says, oh, you need to keep building more. I became mayor at the end of last third round, close. So I learned from that experience, and I've tried maximum best to minimize the need of minimize the need of new housing units being built. Because the name affordable housing is a misnomer, because the more houses you build, the more unaffordable it gets we were talking in last segment about job people just above broke. And for those people, the more houses you build, the more difficult it becomes to stay in West Windsor because their taxes go up. So I point out to the people that the more taxes, more affordable units you build, you're essentially just replacing one set of people who need affordable houses with a new set of people who use affordable houses.
Which takes us to another juncture.
Yes.
So property taxes are at the root of the problem.
Absolutely.
So we need to find another way to fund schools, especially.
Yes.
Because that's a major portion of the budget.
Yes.
And the county seems like it's growing a lot lately. It used to be a minuscule expense.
Yes.
And now, and even in my town of Hamilton, they're right alongside the municipality and the school taxes now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they keep expanding. They want to create new departments and everything else. And
yeah.
We keep hearing all this, but the property taxes, they're the problem. And so I think they next to a poll tax is worse. That's the tax on your head.
Right.
But the property tax is very regressive. Again, for that person that's working, earning $100,000 or whatever, and they're living in West Windsor, they're fortunate enough maybe they had a house that was left to them from years ago,
right.
And they're almost forced out of the town because of the regressive property taxes.
Right.
So I think, and I don't know what your opinion is, I think, even if you went with the value tax, like sales tax, it's not perfect, but it's a little bit better. Of course, the magic is the income tax. Nobody likes that.
Yeah.
But that's probably the most fair form of taxation. Yeah. But the property taxes and the heavy reliance on it, and the waste sometimes in education, and I don't know if that occurs in West Windsor, because I don't think people there would tolerate a lot of waste.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. You have a tough job there because you have people there that are going to scrutinize every move you make.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a very, very educated workforce, right, and very knowledgeable workforce.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, when I was in school board, that time the school budgets used to be voted on. So it was very tough to get the budgets passed because the residents had a high expectation. But I remember when I was in school board president, I looked at the property tax data throughout the country and realized that New Jersey has the second highest property tax in the U.S.
We're number one now.
Number one. We probably are number one.
And we're the most densely populated now.
Yes. But see, the interesting part is at that time, number one was New Hampshire, but New Hampshire didn't have either the sales tax or the income tax.
Right.
So, I mean, they were collecting most of we are highest at every level of tax.
Something else, too. Connecticut doesn't have county government.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I have a friend.
Because people want home rule.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
there was too much government over there. So,
right.
So they got rid of county government.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things that can be done. I don't know what's going to happen going forward in the future. But I do want to mention that we got to continue talking. It's just a test that they have to do. This whole thing about home rule and expenses and what have you. I do want to add, before we leave this segment and go into another one, because we're coming up on that soon, do you think, and I'm not asking you to rule on it or opine on it, but on the issue of sanctuary states, but do you think that encourages more people to come in? Does it encourage illegal entry into the United States, or does it discourage when you have sanctuary states and sanctuary cities?
I mean, logically, if you think it will encourage, I mean, if you know that
it encourages, correct? Yeah.
That you are welcome there, then you're more likely to go. As they say, I mean, you tax the behavior you don't want, and you don't tax the behavior that you want. So it's a similar philosophy that it will encourage people to come in.
And again, it's going to exacerbate the school system, the taxes, and everything else. And that's the lion's share of most of the municipal taxes, the school taxes.
School taxes is the lion's share, and they keep increasing, and people are very frustrated about that.
Yeah, and so sometimes we hear this stuff. I mean, listen, we want everybody here, and I don't think anybody on either side. Like they want to point the fingers now back and forth, this and that. But I know I know a lot of Republicans. I'm a Republican now. I'm not ashamed to say that. I gave up the D because I don't believe in. I think the party doesn't have the values that they had in the past, and they're not the same party of Franklin Roosevelt or any of that. But I think that I want to make it clear that there are very compassionate people in the Republican Party. No one wants to see anyone go hungry. Nobody's going to take away your Medicare and all that, your medical needs. But people like me, and I'm very pragmatic. I just don't want to see my money wasted. I want to be, if we have to spend it in a prudent fashion, don't waste my money. It's my money. It's our money. It's not, the people that oversee this think it's their money. But it's our money that they're spending.
Absolutely. I mean, every money has to come from, collected from taxes. I mean, they're not.
But they would have people believe that, these people are mean and they don't have a heart and they're not compassionate. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
true.
it's.
And I can tell you, I write a check, maybe more than once a year, a couple times a year to Task, Trenton Area Soup Kitchen.
Right.
But at any rate, we're going to take a quick break. It's a little sooner than we normally do. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the different types of government and what West Windsor operates under.
Okay. Thanks.
We'll be back right after this.
I'm Henry Carpenter, certified elder law attorney and host of Senior Legal Strategies right here on WBCB. On a recent Senior Legal Strategies, we discussed the importance of the 4 basic estate planning documents. A general durable power of attorney names someone to take care of your finances, properties, and legal affairs if you can't. A medical power of attorney names someone to make lifetime medical care decisions if you can't. A living will or healthcare directive sets forth your directions for end-of-life care. A last will and testament directs where your assets go and don't go after your death and selects someone to finalize your affairs. I invite you to call us today at 215-493-0727 to schedule a no-cost consultation to discuss these documents and any other concerns you may have.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
Listen to Bucks Blue with Lower Makefield Chief of Police Joe Kelly, brought to you by Jammer Doors, and heard on the third Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. right here on WBCB 1490 AM and 107.3 FM.
Now return to Opinions Matter, a look deep inside the local issues affecting Mercer County. Once again, here's your host, Joe Fabrizi.
Welcome back. If you just joined in, we have the mayor of West Windsor live in the studio today. Hemant Marathe here, and he's so gracious to spend an hour with us. And I want to compliment him because there are a lot of politicians that are afraid to come to a format like this. And again, I want to mention the fact that you can call him. He will entertain a question or a comment. But what you have to remember to maintain civility, we're not going to allow any attacks here. If you have a question, you have a comment, state it. That's it, and he'll answer it the best he can. He always does. That's one of his qualities, and I think that's why he's been so successful and enjoys such popularity, a great deal of popularity in West Windsor. So much so, and that takes me to something else, but I do want to get to the form of government in West Windsor. So I think a while ago, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was the county, there was some talk about building townhouses over there where American Cyanamid was.
Right.
And then the other option would have been warehouses. So there was a big brouhaha over it, and there was some people in West Windsor, I guess, that were kind of against the warehouses, but not that many. Most of it, and they were stirred up from the outside. And they were saying it was because of the traffic, it was because of this, it was because of that. Like people, you border Lawrence there, and I believe down the road a little ways, it's Hamilton. So they were getting involved. And when I say they, the outsiders, and I believe it was, steered in mostly by the mayor of East Windsor, who was part-time, but she also serves as the county chairwoman for the Democratic Party. And they spent a lot of money over there, I understand. And there it was grassroots.
Yes.
Led by you and some of your running mates,
yes.
Right? Knocking door to door, running on your record.
Yes.
Telling the truth.
Yes.
And you handed them their heads. They got beat handily, right? Was it 60?
Yeah, they got beat 2-1. I mean, last year they tried to change our form of government from non-partisan to partisan.
Yeah.
And really, non-partisan government works beautifully, and it's the best for an average person. Unless you depend on government for job or something, non-partisan government is best because the people you elect are representing you and are
not the party.
Not the party. I mean, it's not the party boss who is choosing who can even run in the first place. So I do know the party spent a lot of money in West Windsor, roughly $50,000, trying to change our form of government.
That was the Democratic Party, though.
That's the Democratic Party.
The new Democratic Party, they call themselves the Democratic Party, but some of them now,
so
they're actually Democrat, progressive socialists.
Yeah. So, I mean, the positive aspect of that is that's where I met Joe Charles, my running mate, because the attempt to change from non-partisan to partisan form of government upset a lot of people who were usually not involved in township politics or didn't pay too much attention, but they realized what was happening. It was taking their choice away from voting for anybody they want to hand it to the party bosses to choose the candidates they can vote for.
Okay, so you're nonpartisan, but you're holding the election is occurring in
November. Yes,
so there's different forms of government.
There's different forms of government. We are under Faulkner Act.
You have a
very strong mayor, directly elected mayor, and 5-member council are elected separately, but the mayor is fairly strong position
throughout the whole town.
Throughout the whole town. So, there's no ward system in West Windsor. So when you run, everybody in West Windsor, so you represent every citizen of West Windsor, every resident of West Windsor, not just your ward or not just your area. And that has worked really well for West Windsor, and that system was changed back in 1993. Interestingly, by Democrats, because in those days
Ray
Ryder was
big over there.
She was big over there. And
I knew her.
She's a good lady. God bless her heart. Bless her. But and that has really served West Windsor well, because since then every government is very responsive to the residents, and the residents have a direct hand in electing whomever they want to choose, rather than their choice being restricted to whoever the party bosses have chosen.
And you know what, that works well, because in Hamilton, with the mayor that's there now, He wasn't a resident there. He just moved in the first time out, and suddenly he appears at a Democratic meeting. He wasn't in the club 6 months, and he's running for council under Carabelli.
Oh.
They put Carabelli up there because of the father's name throughout the county. He figured he's going to carry a lot of votes, which was a good move, and it worked. So they got this guy Martin elected, and I said from the beginning, as soon as he appeared on the scene, I says, "There's your next mayor." And everybody was saying to me, "Well, how would you know that?" I said, "I know, because I know politics, and I could see, I knew the players, I knew what was going on, I understand political landscapes." And what had happened, he didn't even finish out his first term. Carabelli should have been the mayor. He won by a landslide. You would think that they would have put him in as the mayoral candidate if the party was doing the right thing for everybody. All right, he was well liked at that time. And instead, the county gave him a nice, high-paying job that paid a lot more than the mayor's position did. And he could keep his council seat, he could keep the county job, and right now they're advertising they're doing the best for our families. Well, their families maybe, his family, but not for ours, because if his heart was in politics, he would have taken that position and probably became the county executive instead of taking the money. So what happened? He got out of the way, and the party bosses put Martin in, and his wife had a big connection there with the governor, Phil Murphy. So that's what party politics does, and I hope the people in West Windsor are listening real clear to that. And stay independent. You're better off, And sometimes there's been instances over the years where the Republican Party pulled those kind of shenanigans too. So I give equal criticism.
Absolutely. I mean, both parties do the same thing. Whatever happens up here, similar things happen down in the south, southern states with the other party. And I don't follow Hamilton politics much, so I don't know about it. Right. I do know Mr. Martin, and we have been friends, and it's been good. Met him a few times at some store openings, but that's to my extent of...
With the big scissors?
Yes, big scissors. That's to my extent of involvement with Hamilton.
I like to see him use those big scissors to cut our property taxes.
Oh, okay.
Not just ribbons.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's get back to West Windsor. So, the township is you run. So the campaign, the current campaign. Your opponents, what do they see as issues? What are they throwing out there?
My opponents have no experience in municipal government, or for that matter, none of them, either the mayoral candidate to council candidates, have served on any committees or any group in township. So they were probably chosen to oppose me, and they're trying to make issues of things that they're finding a hard time finding any issues, because generally people are happy, and one of the issues they found was we had to change our garbage collection from twice a week in summer to one time a week. They tried to make that a big issue, and people told them mayor made the right decision, because for $1 million cumulative extra expense over 5 years wasn't worth for that second pickup for 3 months.
Yeah.
So they're still trying to grapple and trying to throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. But really, the township residents feel good about the township. They're happy generally how I have governed, so they're finding very hard time finding issues that will have any traction with the voters.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing, here's something else that could happen too. Somebody could run as an independent like that, and it depends on where they're getting their funds. Has anybody looked at who's funding them at this point?
No, the first report is not out yet till the end of this month.
I would be very suspicious.
So we will see. But last two campaigns, last campaign against the changing to partisan government, and the one before that for council.
How much money did they put in?
They funded $50,000 each year by outside groups and outside people, and especially last year for the partisan non-partisan campaign, they especially formed a group down in Florida just to send one nasty flyer about me and some other people. That's the politics that West Windsor voters rejected, and I hope they continue to reject that. And that kind of politics should be rejected by everybody, because that doesn't serve the average person well. I mean, that only serves the power brokers and whoever gets to make the decisions, but doesn't serve the average voter.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
You know, and the average person, you know, I mean, you're fortunate enough to live in West Windsor, and people there are probably more astute politically, you know, just because of their nature, their education, and what have you. Whereas a lot of people, you know, they're struggling. You know, there are people that have 2 jobs. They don't have time to examine some of this stuff or whatever. And it's so easy for them to be misguided. Yeah. You know, I mean, look at the ad that Mikey Sherrill put out against Jack Ciattarelli, saying that he wants a 10% sales tax. He never said that. And it's a blatant lie. It's falsehood. And yet it's out there. And, you know, I had some people say to me, Joe, is that true? Is he really going to do that? I said, the answer is no. I said, listen to what he says, not what she's saying. And then listen to her, what she proposes. And most of the time it's almost like nothing. She's, you know, so. But what I'm getting at, and I want to get away from that, but get to the point that I'm trying to make, is people are easily led when they don't have a lot of money. They're trying to make ends meet, and they're the ones that get hurt the worst. That's the worst. They're hurt worse than anyone else. And it's very unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation. And this whole thing where, you know, the violence in the country and everything else that's going on, and the nastiness and this thing on the social media, this Facebook. I see people that are educated, they hold degrees in Hamilton, acting like a bunch of kids in a sandbox, playing in a sandbox. And the worst thing is they don't tell bold-faced lies. They tell half lies. They're worse yet, because that hooks the people.
Yeah.
That hooks the people.
Yeah.
And the people who don't know, they go, oh, no, well, that part's, but it's not all true.
Yeah.
And that's the danger.
Yeah.
And that's where we are as a society, and it's not good for our country. The United States is the United States, not the divided states. And we hear so much about diversity. Well, the United States always welcomed people from all over the world. My people came from somewhere else, and as yours and you and everyone else, and you know. So, and the symbol to welcome everybody was the Statue of Liberty. Right. But everybody that came here, they have the love for America. They didn't come here just for the milk and honey. People want to assimilate. They want to hold our. Listen, Italians brought pizza, pasta, right? And, you know, and every ethnic group brings something. And you want to hold that. It doesn't just disappear overnight. Everybody understands that. But the idea is that we want to assimilate because we are the United States. If you keep hearing this, we keep hearing this word diversity. I don't know how you feel about this, Mayor. Diversity. Oh, we need more diversity. Well, the root word, the Latin derivative from diversity is divide. That's what it comes from, dividi, right? And we're not the divided states of America. We're the United States of America. And, you know, there are some people here that were brought here not of their own free will. And they're stakeholders. And a lot of those people are being exploited today, not being told the truth, trying to make them dependent on government to continue to do that, you know. So there's a lot of things wrong with politics today, but it's good to run into someone like yourself who a straightforward thinker, say it how it is, get the facts, put it out there, let the chips fall where they may.
Right.
And that's the best you can do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I try to do what's best for the average citizen of West Windsor in the long term. Mm-hmm. I mean, some decisions are very tough in the short term, and as you said, like the warehouse decision can be easily used to spread false information, and my opponents in every election has done that. But I know my heart that what I did was the best for West Windsor, and I'm very fortunate that most of the West Windsor residents realized that that was the best decision, that although it was very difficult, was the best decision for West Windsor. And they have rewarded me with their vote in the past, and I hope they continue to do that in the upcoming election.
Mm-hmm. We're going to take another break, and we're going to come back right after this.
We gathered real Pennsylvania seniors and asked them how they would benefit from an extra $1,000. Here's what they had to say.
Everything is so expensive these days.
Car expenses, repairs.
My groceries, heating costs.
Medications. I'm sure I could easily spend $1,000 like that.
Through Pennsylvania's property tax rent rebate program, eligible seniors and adults with disabilities could receive up to $1,000. Check your eligibility and apply online. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3, serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1957. You can now listen to all your WBCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
We now return to Opinions Matter, a look deep inside the local issues affecting Mercer County. Once again, here's your host, Joe Fabrizi.
Welcome back. Still plenty of time to call in if you have a question for the Mayor of West Windsor, Hemant Marathe. We do have a caller on the line, and again, I just want to let everyone know that we'll accept calls or comments, but we need to maintain civility. Anyway, I guess we have Bill on the line. I'm here by myself, and I guess Bill.
Yes, I'm here on the line again.
Okay, Bill.
One of the things, I want to thank your organization. I noticed there's a strong leadership and a strong value for the community there. One of the things I had a question about, if you look up West Windsor, they're known for many things. One is public safety, and the other is the ability to attract new business. Now, I don't know if it's true, but that's what I found on the internet. But public safety seems to be a high point for all of our communities today, and I'm really interested if I could hear what you're doing for public safety and maybe new business that you have.
All right, he's talking about public safety and economic development.
Oh, okay.
So he said that public safety get high ratings for it, and wants to know about economic development.
Okay. So both, we take public safety very seriously, but as I always tell people that we no longer leave it to the beaver world now. Times have changed, situations have changed, so everybody has to watch themselves. But over the last 7 years I've been the mayor, we have hired 8 new police officers. Just to
how many in total, Mayor?
Total is about 56 police officers. Mm-hmm. So we have hired 8 new police officers. And economic development, I'm very proud to say that even during COVID, very few, majority of businesses survived, and most of our shopping centers, we don't have any big malls like Quakerville Mall, but most of our shopping centers are pretty much fully occupied, and we encourage smaller businesses to move in town, and I attend ribbon cuttings, and I'm very proud how many smaller businesses are coming to West Windsor and are being successful. Just around the train station, we have 2 new buildings coming up, and one is finished, and when I went to ribbon cutting, I saw that all of them were occupied by smaller businesses, which I didn't even know existed. And then when the new Avalon development near train station is finished, we will have a lot of smaller businesses on the first floor with apartments and things on the top floor.
So, Bill, are you satisfied with that answer, or you want to follow up with something?
Yeah, I think it's amazing when you start comparing it to the other communities who seem to have been leaning towards decreasing public safety, and they're not really doing much to expand or develop new business in the community development, economic development. They should be proud in West Windsor for everything in that community and the residents.
All right, Bill, you're welcome to stay on the line if you like. I do want to ask the mayor, some more questions here before we get to the top of the hour, and we're approaching it quickly. So, Mayor, thus far, what's your biggest achievement?
I think, when I look not only just my 8 years of mayor, I was 2 years council member before, and 12 years on the school board, 9 of that president. I think I have led to a lot of positive changes in West Windsor. I'm very proud of what West Windsor has become. When I got on the school board, we were growing very rapidly, adding roughly 400 kids every year. And we managed to not only grow very rapidly, but maintain our quality and improve our quality. Since I became mayor, I've tried to get the community together, develop a sense of community. A couple of different magazines have identified West Windsor as one of the best places to live, not only in New Jersey, but all over the U.S. Fortune magazine ranked us in top 15. And I think that was one of the best things happened, because we weren't auditioning from that. We didn't even know they were looking at best places to live, and we were very pleasantly surprised that we were chosen as one of the top 15 places to live. I've kept my taxes flat over the 8 years while developing, and I've tried to help a lot of people. The best feeling I got was COVID came just after I became mayor, and the fact that we got most of the township vaccinated and made a lot of people feel safe, because there was a fear of unknown when COVID came. Nobody knew exactly what. And I used to go on Facebook every day and post updates and post news, and that made people feel safer and feel better. And I think that helped me. That helped me convince that I was doing something good for the community.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you hope to achieve now? You've achieved a lot thus far. Going forward, if you're successful in November, what are you looking at? What are you looking at getting done?
I've started a lot of projects during the last 8 years. I've said I'll build 2 bypasses that we've been talked about for the last 30 years. One is the Windsor bypass, one is the Pensneck bypass. Windsor bypass, the first phase has been completed. I would hope to finish the second phase in next 4 years if I am re-elected and get a chance. And then the Pensneck bypass, if SRI property is developed, then I would try to develop that as well. Again, I want to continue to build a sense of community, make West Windsor, even though it's growing, still develop a sense of community among all the people who are living here, and make it one of the best places to live in New Jersey and in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. So you do have a lot of open space. Well, the park is adjacent to it too, right? The county park.
Right. And
what about? Let me ask you some things. Like, I ran into something here. Somebody had a friend of mine complained because he was told, the township gets our township, Hamilton Township, gets a grant money for planting trees or something. I guess it's a federal grant or a state grant. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, they got the state grant, and they give these trees out and knock on a resident's door and say, hey, would you like us to plant a couple trees in the island, the space between the curb and the sidewalk? And, the question is, well, are they going to damage my sidewalk? Oh, no, these roots grow straight down, right? So, yeah, you get it. So this person I know, he said, yeah, okay, they're free, right? Yeah, okay, so they planted the trees. So he'd asked me about it. He said, they're going to plant trees there. I said, I don't think it's a good idea. Number one, I said, well, if you have the old type of sewer line, which is, now we're getting technical, like you would understand, they had the lead joints, and sometimes the lead joints give way, and the roots like to get in to get the juicy stuff, right? I said, it'll clog the sewer lines. But if you have plastic, she really shouldn't be an issue. But what it's going to do, it's going to make your sidewalk like music notes, up and down, all over the place, right? Now they said the roots grow straight down. Oh, here it is, 20-some years later. And, he's one of Hamilton's finest, retired. But he's got other financial obligations, which I don't want to go into. So even though you might think he's okay, with the pension and this and that from the police, he's got other things he's got to take care of. So, he was, now he goes to get, I guess, his homeowner's insurance, and obviously they come out, they take a look at something like that. He's got to fix it. So now the trees got to come out and the sidewalk's got to be fixed. Now that's an expense, right? So he goes to the township because he knows for a fact that the township offered to take care of that problem for someone else, right? So he asked me about it. I said, well, you call the mayor's office and see what the mayor says. He has to speak to the mayor. tell them you're, one of the retired, one of Hamilton's finest. You're retired, and explain to them. You don't have to go into detail with your financial situation, but let them know everything is not all rosy there. So he did follow my advice. Well, the mayor never called him back. One of the proxies called and said, "Oh no, well you can't get that. You're going to have to take care of that yourself. You don't qualify for any help." But they didn't even take any information. So there you go. They take care of who they want to, and others just get standby. So I want to ask you: did they plant trees in West Windsor like that? But did they tell people what could possibly happen? And that's what they need to make sure. People need to understand.
Yeah.
When you're putting them trees in there, that's going to do damage to the sidewalk. Now, I know Evesham Township, they take care of it. They'll go back when it gets too big, and they'll put it on a list. And you have to wait. I know because my daughter waited. She was on a list, and they did take care of it.
Yeah, we take care of the. We take, if your sidewalk is damaged by a tree, West Windsor Township will take care of the sidewalk.
There you go.
It may take a couple of years, like you said.
Yep.
You put your name on the list, and we allocate again that the budget. I almost doubled it since I became mayor. We allocate a budget, and then we keep fixing sidewalks until we run out of the money.
Mayor, I don't understand though. If the money's coming from the for the trees,
yes,
and there's a problem because of the trees, shouldn't they be able to take that money and use it for the same? I don't know.
That I don't know about what the grant was.
But from a pragmatic mind, I would think that would be the answer.
Yeah, but we do take care of, out of our regular operating budget, we do take care of the sidewalks if your sidewalk is damaged.
Yeah. So, we're at the top of the hour here. Pretty soon he's going to give me the signal here, this guy, Stephen Lawler, who's going to be doing a show coming up soon. And I want everybody to stay tuned for that. But any closing remarks here? We got about a minute and a half.
Oh, okay. I mean, I really want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and talk. This kind of direct exchange one-to-one is very important for the people to
Does
get
a lot of it exposes a lot.
Right.
And it's a shame more politicians don't want to take advantage of it.
Right. And I just want to thank the residents of West Windsor for giving me the honor of serving in various capacities over the last 25 years. I've served as a school board member, school board president, and council, and the mayor, and I really want to appreciate everything that the confidence they have shown in me, and I hope they will show the same confidence in November and re-elect me for another term. I have some unfinished projects that I've started that I would like to finish. So again, thank you, and thank you to all residents of West Windsor.
It's a pleasure having you. Always a pleasure. And you're welcome back anytime. And I'd like to hear from your running mates, if that's possible.
I will.
And we're getting near the top of the hour here, and I want to, just close with letting everybody, again, I want to remind everybody, whoever's running anywhere, any town you live in, throughout Mercer County, throughout New Jersey, throughout wherever you live, you need to ask these politicians what their opinion is when it comes to sanctuary states, sanctuary cities, and we need to find out what's going on with all that, because it does affect the tax rate and everything else that you're paying and all that. But having said that, we're right there almost. I want everyone to remember until the next time, opinions matter.
Are you a parrot?